Welcome to The Switch, podcasts that are wired to online and offline marketing.
Awesome. Okay, now it's my turn to grill you, Steve.
Great.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Good. Okay, well, you know that I do branding, and part of the branding identity exercise, a lot of times we have to come up with a naming of a business. And I've always wondered what was behind the name Burning Fruit.
Burning Fruit. Wowza. Well, when I started out, a long time ago now, over 10 years ago, I had to come up with a name. The reason I started my business because I couldn't make ends meet.
Yeah.
A bit like you.
Yep.
Came to this country, got put on went for a job and didn't pay enough for my mortgage. So I had to do something. So I started a small business just creating websites for people.
Love it.
And I had a name. I needed a name. And I named myself Innovision IT. I'm not in IT and I have no idea what Innovision means. So that was really, really awful. So when it came to actually being serious, I had to step away from my job. When it came serious, I got too many clients on the go. So I couldn't work like 2 8-hour days in one day.
Yeah.
So we basically put it out to the audience. We knew we wanted user experience to be the core of everything we wanted to do. But we had this design element and we had the development element. We knew at some point we'd be delving into SEO.
Yes.
And then obviously the support after any website goes live. So all these different flavors of what we were trying to do was in the mix. So we put it out to our audience for true user experience. So we got a few people together and in the end, via email, my brother suggested Flaming Fruits.
Okay.
And but the domain was taken.
Yeah.
So that's where the Burning Fruit came along. So we played around with the name, and it was my brother who actually finally came up with the name.
Wow. Well, I must say I'm glad it was taken because I do prefer Burning Fruit over Flaming Fruit.
Yeah. So there you go. It was true user experience experiment.
Brilliant. Okay, well now I know I can put that one to bed.
Yep.
And it's surprising I've never asked you that before, but every time I hear your name or I use it when I'm talking to my clients, I think, gotta ask him why that.
That is a question I get a lot,
I'm sure you do. Well, it's very unique, and it stands out in the market in terms of what you're doing and what you're bringing to the fore in terms of what everyone else is doing. So you really do have market contrast, and I'm big on that. So
cool, man.
Kudos, man. Kudos.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay, now look, as we know each other really well, we've known each other for a while, and when we work together, and I know for a fact that you've just recently performed a review of your business, and I'm interested in wondering how that came about, and how that will possibly change or improve the way you're dealing with your clients, because right now my perspective of how you guys do things is awesome. I'm working with you with a lot of clients. I see how you operate in your processes. Super impressed. But why the review, and what's it bringing to the table now? How's it going to change those flavors in Burning Fruit?
Well, when COVID hit, the first 3 years were pretty up and down. We had a lot of clients on board. We're trying to. We were pretty much trying to hoard clients, and we were just taking on clients without any real thought as to how we could actually grow their brand.
Yeah,
and there was no finesse in what we were trying to do. So. We knew we had something. We knew user experience was underpinning everything we do, and the websites we were doing back then were pretty good.
Yeah.
But we didn't quite put our finger on the pulse of what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
So when COVID hit, we went into a bit of a panic, like a lot of businesses. So our team went back right to Business 101. you've been in business a long time, you don't think you think you know everything, or you think you know a majority of it. You just because you've been in it a long time, doesn't mean you know everything. And gosh, that exercise of going back to doing a business course, a basic business course, just allowed us to get clarity in exactly what we were offering to the market. And we realized we're not offering your everyday website.
No.
We're not offering like the website that will just have information on it. We were offering an experience, and that with that experience brings the credibility of bringing businesses to the top of their game. And in the end, the clarity of pushing our brand to the point where we really want to take businesses on who want to change, who want to improve, who want oops, sorry about that. Excuse me. Who want to innovate and are prepared to jump in the deep end and take their business to the next level. And those are the businesses that we are really looking for now. So that review was critical, not only to our survival. I mean, we could have carried on like we were, but nowadays it's more about the quality of what we're doing, user experience, customer experience, the whole website experience is a completely different ball game now for us, now that we've done our review. And going forward, this is what we want to do. We want to look for businesses. It could be a one-man band. It could be a not-for-profit. It could be a big corporate. It could be an ASX-listed company. Yeah. But any business who's got the vision of being top of their industry, that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, absolutely. And also that represents a certain amount of maturity in a business. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll work with companies that are doing reviews on an annual basis, but they're a different type of product, a different type of industry, and it needs to be done. But what that shows me is that, you know, you're interested in the growth of your business, but you're interested in the growth of your clients. I think that's really important. And so there's a definite amount of maturity in that, and knowing where you are and saying, hang on, we need to step out of our little box and have a good, hard, long look at ourselves. I mean, I've just done the same thing myself within the last 12 months, and it's quite an eye-opening experience. So
you got to be brave. Awesome. You got to be brave in business, and we stopped being brave. We just didn't have time to think that we could be brave. And once you're brave, and you know you can step outside the box without worrying about the consequences, it's a scary place. But
it is, isn't it? And fear drives a lot of us, especially in business. That fear of failure, and taking a step in another direction is very scary for a lot of businesses. It's been scary for me in the past. I know that. Now I've lost that fear, and I don't have it. And, you know, which is awesome. And I'm glad to see you guys have just embraced it. And I've already seen a re-enthusiasm within the business and yourself. So it's great to see. But, you know, look, I've worked with you on those great websites and the user experience thing. And that's how I sell your services, by the way. You guys are the pinnacle of the user experience in my eyes. And so I sell your services that way when I'm talking to my contacts and clients. But I know there's got to be something that you've done that's particularly just so unique and that it was an enjoyable experience. Now, that may be the people themselves, the client, but it's what you produced that you're really proud of. Is there something that you've done in the last 12 months or 2 years that
I could repeat what you just said.
Yeah, you could, but you can't.
But no, I can't. Okay, so there was this one client who they're in the mining industry, and I won't name the client, but we started. They obviously wanted to get to the top of their industry. They had a couple of new service offerings, and they wanted a new website because they had an 80s website which wasn't mobile friendly. It was a brown website. Yeah, it was
a classic online brochure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they wanted to get rid of it as soon as possible. So we started off with a landing page, and then we were obviously progressing to the full-blown website. When we did the landing page, they went nuts. They loved the landing page. Yeah. And so we released the landing page. their website, their old website was gone. They used the landing page just as a holding page. And we thought, geez, man, that reaction, let's just give them more of the same.
Yeah.
So
we want more of that.
Yeah, we want more of that. We thought, well, how could we go wrong? So we obviously came up with a concept, very, not exactly the same, but very similar to the landing page, with a few more animations, bit more design, video inserts, and we presented to them, and they looked at it, and they went, bit bland. And we were like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And we were like, well, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
And so we spent maybe another couple of weeks pinging around different concepts, and we thought, okay, we can't go with what we've got.
Yeah.
We need to go a bit nuts.
Yeah.
And we went very, very nuts.
Yeah.
With animations, with concepts, with things that were way out of proportion. We brought that logo right to the forefront of the whole website, because it had a story.
Yeah.
So we created this concept, which was, I had no idea what reception it was going to get. But our lead designer, Harry, he was very skeptical about the craziness that I was trying to bring to the table. Anyway, when we presented it, we couldn't have got a better response. Brilliant. They loved it. And that was probably the biggest turnaround we've ever done. So that still rings true.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant because, again, there's that whole thing of the fear. You're really pushing the boundaries. And, I've had similar experiences where you think, well, I really know this is right. I feel that it's right. But I also know that it's pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so you're never quite sure how it goes. So if you had that same response, then you can't ask for much more than that. So that's good, man. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, good experience, but nerve-wracking. Nerve-wracking.